As a new day begins, it seems for many Canadians, a sense of unease stirs too. A lurking, nagging worry, hard to pinpoint and hard to shake. The feeling that life is stalled, even when it appears to be moving right along.
It's a 12-hour day. So I walk out the door at 7 a.m., I come home by 7 o'clock.
Cheryl Post is 26 and just graduated with a diploma in advertising. She landed an internship at an agency in Toronto. It's a great break, but means a grueling commute. 2 hours each way. That's 4 hours every day.
I didn't realize how much 2 hours would take out of my life, like on the end of a day. And now it's a lot of time. At least we have a full table, which is nice.
She's not exactly living large in Hamilton.
Like, the toilet is under the stairs, which is a little weird. If you sit back too far, you might hit your head.
Her place is tiny, but at $1,100 a month, it's a relative steal.
So how much would this cost you in Toronto?
Probably at least $2,000.
Way more than she can afford, because that's her entire monthly pay.
We have a lot of bagels. I don't have time in the morning to eat them.
With skyrocketing rents and rising home prices in cities like Toronto, finding an affordable place to live is a top concern for young Canadians. Cheryl and her partner are careful to eat in and take lunches to work. But even with all their budgeting, it's a lot of work just to get by in Hamilton, let alone get anywhere closer to where they want to be.
I'm definitely worried that I won't buy a home one day. I think there's a good chance that it just might not happen, considering how expensive it is in Toronto and Vancouver, the places that my job would need me to be.
It's hard to be optimistic when you can't picture the future. Every time Cheryl goes to work, she dreams of having it all: a career, a family, a home. But like so many young people like her, she can't really see it.
Like, I don't feel like I even have time to think about what I'm worried about. I don't have time to think ahead to the future because I'm so busy taking care of the now.
Moving further and further away from the city, more families are resigning themselves to the fact a long commute is the trade-off for a place to call home.
Hey, Lulu.
Josh Newbar and Chelsea Kirkby spent years renting in Toronto before moving to Hamilton too. Rents were spiking and they were afraid of being edged out.
We weren't in a position to buy a home in Toronto, which we were fine with as long as we could rent a place, but then rent suddenly was another issue. Not only were prices going up, but it was people were being very competitive with renting. Suddenly you had to wait in line and overbid for renting, and it just became a really competitive environment. So that's a lot of uncertainty when you have two kids.
Look, Mommy, it fits perfectly.
What they could afford is a down payment for a house in Hamilton.
Very nice.
They have a more secure sense of home, at least for now.
Are those cucumber roots?
They might be. I don't think so, though. We're doing okay when we get our paychecks. And I think that's the big thing, is that when you know that you have, when you can plan, when you know you have a certain amount of money coming every month, then you're like, okay, we're fine because we know we are getting this in the future. But I think that the problem is if that ever ended, we'd definitely be like, okay, now we're not fine and we need to figure out how we can make ends meet if someone were to lose a job.
How does that make you feel?
Worried. Yeah, I'm pretty worried about the future for, just the job climate and making sure that we actually have security in the future.
So you pick your spot.
There it is again, that vulnerability, even for families who seem to be doing okay.
I'm gonna pat it down.
Josh works as an urban planning consultant. Chelsea is in public health. Good jobs, as long as they have them. Job security keeps many Canadians up at night because so many feel, even if they made it this far, they can't afford to exhale.
The way that our parents' generations lived, each of those elements of that kind of being chipped away piece by piece, whether it's the expectation of what a degree gets you, whether or not you can own a home or rent a place with security, what your salary might be, how long you'll stay at a job. There's just a lot of different things that are different now than they used to be.
If retirement is the ultimate target, it seems to be more distant than ever before. The daily commute, the daily grind, the majority of Canadians worry they won't be stopping it anytime soon. Cheryl Luzato's son just graduated with a degree in graphic design.
Sweep your hair back.
and is a makeup artist. She and her husband also have a daughter starting university. They're supporting them financially, and that makes it harder to save for retirement.
These are the years in which you build up all of your reserves, but at the same time you're kind of depleting them through paying for university and all sorts of other things as well. Hi everyone.
The majority of Canadians looking at middle age are concerned about what lays ahead. Cheryl is almost 50 and works as a health systems analyst. She sees herself working for at least another decade, maybe 2, because she loves what she does and because she has to.
My husband is a few years from retirement, which means that in a few years' time I will be the only income earner. And so certainly for us it is about our kids, making sure that they go through university and land on their feet. They're not riddled with debt. They can begin their lives without worrying about that.
It means, like so many others, she can't set a date to retire. So she keeps pressing forward with a lingering unease following right behind her. Joanna Rumaliotis, CBC News, Toronto.